vlog. In today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of an October reset, a sort of a get ready for what is arguably one of the more fun months of the year. And in today's video, we're going to be sort of talking about some things that went down in September, what we want to do differently in October, some content ideas, TBR, all the good things that we are looking forward to in October. And by we, I mean me. But you're here with me, watching it with me. So let's get into it. First, let's talk a little bit about what we got into in September. I was just sort of in like a funk this September. I really didn't want to read. I lacked motivation. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go anywhere. Nothing. And so in order to force myself to read, to go places, to do things, I was like, oh, I'm going to film this very particular type of video that requires me to read a bunch of books and requires me to go places and requires me to like do stuff. And I did that, sort of. I still have some like work to do on it, so it's gonna come out in October, even though I was really hoping to get it done by the end of September. But that's fine. We set our own timelines here. There are no expectations. That got me thinking about what do I want to learn from September to apply to October. And sort of the main thing is being more proactive with content creation. I have no expectations for this channel or for my Bookstagram. Follow me, LL. I have no expectations for how frequently I put out videos or how much I post or any of those things. I think initially I was like, oh, I want to post at least once a week. I want to post 2 times a week. I want to do all these things. I'm not going to set that expectation for myself. A few posts a month, honestly, would be ideal. And we'll just kind of see how it goes. If I feel a pull of inspiration to post, then I will. But if I don't, then I won't. Which goes into one of my next sort of goals to take away from September is to just let myself be more organic about reading, because I feel like I have to read these books for this video that I want to make. And yes, it was a motivation to do that, but also I felt like it felt like homework. It felt like a chore when reading is supposed to be fun, and I don't want that to happen. So be more organic about reading. I'd like to put a little bit more effort into my Bookstagram, my book Instagram. I kind of am just like, oh shoot, I need to post today. Let me take a picture. But I feel like if I do like a book photo shoot, then I'm like, oh, I have all this content that I don't need to worry about now because it's all done. So being able to like batch do things would be ideal. And if I could do more reels, that would be nice. But like also like even though I'm a Gen Z, I'm an early Gen Z. I'm a 1998 baby. I'm not dialed in to short form content. I find myself rambling. I would love to be able to like dial in to figure out the secret to short form content, because I have not done it so far. In September, I read 6 books. They are Somewhere Beyond the Sea, Baby Teeth, Swift and Saddled, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Bride, and The Song of Achilles. So I think I did a pretty good job of knocking out my September TBR. However, over half of those books I forced myself to read them for a video that will be coming out eventually. If you want to hear my in-depth, spoiler-filled thoughts on those 6 books that I read in September, you can stay tuned for that video, my September reading wrap-up, which will come out soon. And if you're watching this like way in the future, hey, it's already out. Go watch it right after this one. I'd appreciate that. Now, the meat and potatoes of this video is what's on my October TBR. How can we talk about what we're gonna do in October if we haven't even talked about our TBR? Come on, people. I, like always, am ambitious with my TBR. So I have 9 books that are on it, despite the fact that the past few months I have not even approached 9 books as being read. But here we are. There's a combination of spooky, Halloweeny vibe books and football books, because I am from the South. I may live in Arizona, but I'm from the South. And so Saturday football is a big deal, which I'm an Auburn fan. I am an Auburn alumni, so War Eagle, baby. And my lovely partner, Frankie, has roped me into fantasy football for the second year in a row. So I do spend the better part of my Sundays watching men tackle each other. So it got me thinking, like, there's so many good, like, football centric books. So I'm adding those into the mix. So spooky books on my radar. And spooky can either mean scary, or it can mean just like general, like Halloween-y vibes. We have the X-Hex. I feel like a lot of people are talking about this one. Spooky. This one's actually scary. I wanted to read some Stephen King. He's the king of like the horror genre. And I've seen so many of the Stephen King movies, like Pet Sematary, The Shining, It. So I kind of wanted to stay away from those. And so I kind of settled on Salem's Lot. I don't know if I'll like it. I've seen mixed reviews about whether it's like one of his good books. But hey, I've read some Stephen King before and I like his writing style. So vampires, right? Cool. Then we have Phantasma. This is actually my book of the month book for September. So I'm gonna read it in October, but I think it's like a gothic romance, so that will be interesting. Casket Case. It is a small town, southern Alabama romance, but it feels Halloween-y because the girl is going home to a small town in Alabama where her family were like morticians, going back to the funeral home, and so that's gonna be fun. Our book club book this month is Starling House, which is a gothic fantasy that I've seen a lot of people talking about as well. And right after this, after we finish this conversation, you and me, after we finish this conversation, I'm gonna go to the bookstore and I'm gonna pick that book up, because I have found that I don't love reading the book club books on my Kindle. I want to have them physically so that I can like take more proper notes, so that when we're in our book club discussions, I feel more organized to be able to like flip through the stuff. So we're gonna go buy a physical copy of that book. I'm bringing back from my September TBR a Good House for Children, which is a spooky ghost adjacent thriller book. I wanted to read it in September. The time got away from me, so I am putting it on the list in October. And then we have a dark romance. I've dipped my toes into dark romance a few times before, and this was recommended on r/romance addicts or something on Reddit, and so I'm gonna read Her Soul to Take. We'll see what the vibes are. I'm not squeamish when it comes to the more risque or taboo romances. Like, I read the Cat and Mouse books, you know. There are problematic elements, but you just kind of gotta like suspend your disbelief like you do with anything else. And so we're gonna see about Her Soul to Take. And then we have our football books. We've got two. We've got The Hookup, football, NFL, I think. We have You and Me, which is about two football dads. Their sons are on the high school football team, and the two football dads fall in love. I'm pretty sure almost every month this entire year I've read at least one piece of queer fiction, and I would like to keep that going. Those are our books for October. There's so many of these that I wanted to start in September, but I was in the middle of reading 4 different books in September, and I was like, I can't start another one because I have to read these few, and I'm glad I did. I liked every book that I read in September. Like I said, you can go watch and see what I thought in full detail about those. But all of that to say, I am really excited for a lot of these books. Big on my radar that I'm really the most excited about. I'm really excited about Casket Case. I have it physically already, so I can just like grab it. I have The Hookup on Kindle Unlimited, you know, ready to read that one. I'm gonna try to read Starling House earlier in the month, because this past month I was reading Somewhere Beyond the Sea the day before and the day of the book club meeting, and so I was like waiting until the very last minute. And and I want to not do that. I think that covers the more rambly parts of this video. So let me stop talking at you and let's go to the bookstore, maybe to Spirit Halloween, maybe to just like do some fun stuff, because we are getting ready for October. We are resetting for October, and if we're doing that, we need the vibes, we need the merch, we need the books, we need the things. Let's go. Okay. Woohoo! That Spirit Halloween was a bust. It was one of the smallest I've ever been in. So we need to find a big one to find some cool accessories to go with our Halloween costumes. I am back home from the bookstore and from Spirit Halloween and sort of all the places that we went. Spirit Halloween was a big bust. They didn't have very much, and it wasn't like their sold out situation. It was just a really small location, so they didn't have a whole lot. But I am excited to show you what I got from the bookstore. First, we'll start with the books that I got. We got Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I read Swift and Saddled first. I liked Swift and Saddled a lot, so I got the first book, Done and Dusted. And actually, coming up in November, I am going to be going to a event that Lila Sage is putting on in Tucson, Arizona. So I'll vlog that if you guys are interested, and you can sort of see the whole shebang with Miss Girl. The other book I got is our book club book this month, which is Starling House by Alex Harrow, and it's got pretty purple edges. What I don't like is how big it is, like in comparison to normal sized books. Like I was like, oh, is Done and Dusted just on the smaller side? I don't think so, because like here's Song of Achilles and Mark My Place. It's big. I hate when my books like don't sit are the same. Like it's the size of a hardback while being a paperback. So that's a little annoying, but God, and it's kind of printed weird. Who printed this? Like, look at how close to the edge this print job is. How interesting. That is interesting. Anyway, I also got some book merch. So first, we got some Fourth Wing stickers. This is what they all are on the back. I haven't opened them yet. I'm gonna pick a few of them to put in my Kindle. I wanna replace, like sort of switch up some of the stickers that I have in here, because these are all Sarah J Maas related stickers. So I might take some of them out and swap them up. Then we have this little bookmark set that is based on the Cerulean Sea Chronicles. And then we have this little Cerulean Sea like gift set, but it was a gift from myself to me. And it comes with like a little notepad. It comes with some like bookmarks, that sticker of Chauncey, and then another sticker that says, "The world is a weird and wonderful place. Why must we try to explain it all away?" I couldn't resist. I loved the Cerulean Sea books, so I had to get this cute merch, and then this fun Fourth Wing stuff, which I read Fourth Wing earlier this year, and I'm like itching to reread it. I was doing some shelf reorganization and was holding it, and I could see like all my tabs and all the things that I had written in it, and now I want to reread it again. But I forgot to show you guys, I updated some of the stickers on my Kindle. The Throne of Glass, all the books on a bookshelf. Really, they should be this way, but I keep it this way. Court of Smut and Wingspan, if you know, you know. Welcome to the Revolution, that's from Fourth Wing. Fireheart, that is Throne of Glass. Hello, Feyre Darling, that is ACOTAR. This is our cute little bellhop Chauncey from House on the Cerulean Sea. Tamlin's Tears, we know her, we love her. Witchling and Princeling, like text bubbles, I think that's cute. This is a quote from The House on the Cerulean Sea. The world is a weird and wonderful place. Why must we try and explain it all away? the map of all the different courts in ACOTAR, and then from Fourth Wing, I know exactly who you are, and it's got Taryn and Darna, question mark. So that is our little sticker refresh that we have going on here. The final thing that I am going to do in this video is do a little bit of journaling for the books that I read in September. So I do these spreads where I track the medium genre, the length, the rating, all of that kind of information, and then just some high level, like brief brain dump thoughts about each of the books that I read. But there are some books during the month that strike me in my core a little bit more heavily, with a bit more emphasis than some of the other books that I read, and so I like to reserve a few pages in each month to do a sort of like scrapbook, book spread, montage type vibe, where I will just fill the whole page with pictures off of Pinterest or anything like that that really feel like the vibe of the book. And so I'm going to go on to Pinterest and I'm gonna look for some pictures that I think fit the vibes of the different books that I want to do spreads for, and then we'll print them out and we'll journal together. That will be how we wrap up this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the outro here, and then you can proceed to watch the sort of montage of the journaling if that is something that you are interested in. So thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you like this video. Leave a comment down below if you have read any of the books that I read this past month or plan to read any of the books that I'm reading in October. And I can't wait to see you in all of the October videos that we record this month. Peace out.